because I'm very transparent because I got away.
Thank you.
So I'm good with that. But I remember, I told you in the women's conference, I talked about this man. And he came up and he said some little stupid lines that Toni, the elder, would never follow. He gave me a little 6th grade line. If you don't do it, somebody will. And the enemy knows just how to blind you. Because even in Toni, I would have been like, Joker, please, go ahead. But because the sifting process had already started, it was like, okay, all right. So the more times we did it, the easier it was for us to keep doing it.
See that? That's the truth.
Or continually.
Come on.
The more you do it, the easier it is. The more you do it. So we got to ask ourselves some really hard questions. And then be very honest in our responses.
Yeah.
We have to be. We have to be. Verse 32, it says, but I pray for you that your faith should not fail. We got to remember that no matter what we're going through, when we're going through it, how we're going through, we got to hold on to our faith. We got to hold on to what we believe. Because there will come a time where the enemy, he knows that if he can snatch up what you believe, then he has you. He won't have you. You cannot fall for any old thing. Remember they used to say, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. You got to hold on to what you believe. And then it goes on to say, when you have returned, strengthen your brother. When you have returned to me. A lot of us would like to not even go down that road. But he didn't tell Simon Peter that he wasn't going to go down that road. As a matter of fact, it implies that he very well is going to go down there. Because he says, when you return, you can't return where you never left.
Right.
He said, when you have returned, strengthen your brother. So there's purpose to your sifting. And as I was thinking about this, I had to reflect on the goodness of the Lord through my sifting. Because through the sifting process, again, it separates the chaff from the edible grain. So that tells me, spiritually, that in my sifting process, there were some things that were not of God that were getting separated from me. There were some things in me that God had no use for. There were some things in me that I couldn't carry where I'm going. And so that sifting process, the enemy, God just used him. He thought he was doing something, but God was using him. Remember, all things work together for the good. So even in my sifting, God was able to use that for my good because there were some things, there were some nasty ways, some nasty tendencies that I had. There was some stuff in my flesh that had to die. There was a grieving process that I needed to go through so that I may be able to strengthen my brethren and my sister when I came back to God. There was process in that. There was a purpose in that. And we have to allow the sifting process to take its course. But as it's taking its course, you have to remember that you have to hold on to your faith. Because once that's gone, what else do you have? He that comes to God must first believe that he is.
Yes. Come on. Yes.
That's the foundation of our faith.
Thank you, Lord.
God's not asking you to be perfect. He knows that you're not going to be perfect. But he just simply said that when you come back, strengthen your brethren. Don't come back acting like, oh, woe is me, or I'm so high-minded and righteous. Come on now. We overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. When you come back, strengthen your brethren and your sister, understanding that there's purpose for your sifting, that what I go through may not be pleasant, it may be painful. Some people may walk away. Some people may not understand, but it's not for them to understand. You have to understand your purpose. Even if you don't understand at the time,